Hello, ladies and gentlemen, Anime Freak here, and welcome to another video. This time is a story time video. I'm gonna say that a lot, but more to the point. What story am I going to talk about? What am I going to tell? Let's adjust the mic just a little bit. Hey, don't come apart. There we go. Okay, so, for anyone who knows me, you know that I am sort of weird. I don't know if weird's the right word. I'm just very open and comfortable with myself, and I don't change anything to fit anyone's perspective or beliefs or who they want people to be, or if they're uncomfortable around me. I could give two shits. I'm just who I am all the time, always. I'm 100% me all the time. I've had people tell me that is just a little bit too much. Maybe tone it back, blah, blah, blah. When it comes to the romance department, I've been told several times that it's going to be impossible to find a woman who loves find a woman who loves you 100% or turn it off at some point. I just can't do that. I'm me all the time. Well, imagine that, but in high school. Yeah, needless to say, everyone's fucking stupid in high school. Just period. We are all fucking retards in high school. There is no way around it. Everyone is fucking stupid in high school. It's life, I guess. I don't know what to say other than just everyone is fucking stupid in high school. I think it's like a contagious disease we all have. It's hormones and testosterone and finally settling into being a person and an adult and realizing the crippling depression, melancholy depression that is adult life is slowly encroaching on you. Does that mean being an adult sucks? No, there's plenty of things to like about being an adult. I'm just going to tell you though, kiddies. Once you hit 18, the world hits you with a sack of hammers and throws you off a fucking bridge like a bag of old kittens. Either way, you either learn to swim and chew your way through the bag, or you sink and drown. So, pick one. Stick to it. I drowned for many years, but that's a story for another time. The story I wanted to tell you right now is probably the story of the most depressing time in my life, or the moment in my life. Now, depression is something I don't battle with. I don't have clinical depression. At least I don't think I do. I've never actually been diagnosed. I could have it. But it's something that I know a lot of people battle with, but everyone has depression moments. So, I'd like to tell you about one of them. Maybe it will depress you a little bit. Maybe it will cheer your day up. Maybe you'll look a little bit better on your life. That's the hope. That's what I'm hoping, that you will look at your life a little bit shinier for me telling this story. Now, the story, in fact, is about it's about a band trip that we took my junior year in high school. Now, I was in band, marching band, concert band, jazz band for a little bit, and I did that for all 4 years of high school. And I was mercilessly picked on all 4 years of high school. Not so much by a lot of the kids I was in class with or a lot of the kids I knew. I had a good group of friends, and we were friends. Now, it took me a couple years to find them. About junior year was when I became real close with my brothers Mal, Dusk, and Miko, who all of them are family to me. Niku took a couple years after we graduated high school, but she was older, and really it was just Mal at the time, or Michael, whatever you want to call him. It was really just him at the time, and another friend, Gavin, who we became close. And then there was another group of friends. There was Charleston and Terrell and Bob, and just a group of really cool guys. Now, I would love to go back in time and smack the piss out of my high school self and tell him, don't be this fucking stupid, read some Superman comics because you really fucking like him, you just don't remember it yet. I'll have to make a video on that one too. But, I was weird, needless to say. do a little cable management here. I was weird, needless to say. And it's hard being a weird kid in high school. You become a target for people to take their frustrations out on. As much as I hate to say that, it's true. People just want to take their frustrations that they have and that they have garnished over the couple years they've been in high school, and the hormonal I do words good, hormonal rage and confusion and lust and just all this shit that crams together into this ball of teenage angst. They want someone to take that out on. Well, that's where people like me come in. We're the targets. It's simple. It's easy. Did I make myself a target? That is a very good question. You see, I think there's a real argument to have about kids who understand the hierarchy of high school and who understand that it can be a troubling time and understand that there will be problems but still act weird and make willingly, if not willingly, unknowingly make themselves a target to be picked on. And I think there's some kids that definitely do this intentionally. I was never one of them. I've known of them. I've seen them. I knew a couple who directly did weird shit just so it would fuck with people, and they made themselves a target. And you have to know it's coming, because that's just kind of how it works. You've been trained like this since fucking elementary school to know that bullying's coming, but elementary school is a whole different type. See, in elementary school, they tell you you're fat, or you smell funny, or just nominal bullshit that shouldn't get to you. Now, bullying's a big problem, and I have my own opinions, and I'd like to voice those later, but I don't think this is the video to do it, or else this would be a 3-hour-long video. Here's this story, though. This story stands out to me on the damage bullying can do, but the good things bullying can do. And what I mean is you as a person have to learn from bullying. I will elaborate all this. I'll make my own video on it. I just want to tell this story. So I've rambled on for 7.5 minutes now about bullying and all that other shit. I can do a video on that, but that's not the story I want to tell right now. I want to tell you the story of this band trip. And this band trip is possibly the worst fucking trip I've ever had in my life. Without a doubt. And I'm not angry about it by any standards, and I have all rights to be. I know this deep down. I have all rights to be angry, but I don't feel angry. I feel absolutely nothing towards it now. At the time, I was frustrated and mad and furious at everyone. I fucking hated everyone. The only people I didn't hate was Mal, my little group of friends, and my family. Everyone else at that school could have sucked a big fat dick. I hated them all. And that hatred didn't go away until after I graduated. Actually, it didn't go away for about 3 years after I graduated. I held on to that shit for a little while longer than I really needed to. But I think you grow as a person. So you just realize at a certain point it's stupid to hold on to this. But I think this is a story that needs to be told. So my junior year, the band put funds forward, and we got together, and we went on a band trip to Disney World. Yay, Disney World. So everything leading up to it was great. The trip there was great until we got there, and things got real fucking heavy for me. What I mean is, I spent 3 days at Disney World by myself. I'm gonna let that sink in for a second. There were times where I was in a group and not alone, but I was always alone. And if you understand true loneliness and you understand what really being alone is like. You'll know even if there are people around you, you can still be alone, and it doesn't change anything. Just because there's a group of people you go to high school with standing around you, it doesn't mean much. Now, the first day, or at least the first half of that day, the first day was fine. We arrived there. I changed clothes. We hit the park. I went on a couple rides with a little group, mostly freshmen, because a lot of the people who were in the same class as me couldn't stand me for some, I guess, my weirdness. They just didn't want to be around me. They didn't want to hang out with me. They didn't want to know me. So we went on 1 or 2 rides, and then I kind of got a little bit exhausted from all the walking, and I guess mental fatigue finally kicked in from the ride and everything, and I think I had a cyst on the crack of my ass. Something, just a couple different things coming together. So I started moving a little slower, and they left. And I sat down on a bench and sat there for a good 30 minutes, just drinking a bottle of water, relaxing. But they were gone. They didn't wait. They moved on. Fair enough. I wasn't a part of their friendship. But what killed me was I spent the rest of the day alone. Until we went to dinner, and I found another little group of underclassmen and a couple people in my class, and we went to the Hard Rock Cafe, ate dinner. I got to dance with a fairly cute girl. She took a picture with me. Hey, if you're out there, sweetie, I'm still single. Hey, I don't even know who that was or what was going on. I think she was a part of another band trip, but I just remember the look of shock on some of my classmates who were just like, Fonzie, how'd that happen? And I go, what do you mean? I danced with a girl, got a picture. Why? That was my nickname, Fonzie. A name I grew to hate. I don't anymore. But, but that day didn't go as bad. It wasn't soul crushing. I guess there's something to say about being left behind and just being kind of left in the middle of a fucking theme park like that. Being kind of depressive. But it never hit me that it was depressing. It never hit me that this was a problem. When it finally hit me, though, it hit me like a ton of bricks. It hit me the second day. So we went to the Animal Kingdom the second day. I shared a room with about 3 people, 2 other people, 4 people. But one of them moved around and blah blah blah. I can't remember what happened with that, but all I remember was I got up, took a shower, got dressed. We left onwards to breakfast and a day at the park. So we ended up at the Animal Kingdom. And we were going to end up at Epcot later that day. So, went to the Animal Kingdom. Started off with a group of freshmen and other classmates. I guess just a random group. And I was just, let's go have some fun. And then, I stopped. And I think it kind of hit me then. Something didn't feel right. So this day I went off on my own intentionally. And I think I came to a realization a long time ago that maybe if I'd stuck with that group, things might have been different in my head. Or maybe I think it hit me that I wasn't in the group. I was just there. No one talked to me. No one said much of anything to me. They just kind of, oh, he's here, whatever. Hey, let's go do that. I wasn't a part of the group. I didn't have any input. I didn't have any say. I didn't even have a conversation with the group. I just wasn't there with the group. So, I went off on my own. And they had a myriad of things you could do. It was the Animal Kingdom. It's friggin' Disney World, Disneyland. I can't remember which one it is. Whichever one's down in Florida. So, I found some stuff to do. went on a couple rides myself. Went on the safari thing myself. Looked at some animals. They were cool. Pet a tiger. Got to pet a tiger. That was fun. I saw this Indiana Jones thing where they showed all the stunts they did in the movies, and I was like, that's real cool. I watched it. Saw a couple of the kids, other kids that I knew at the time there, other classmates there. Said hi. But they went on their own, and I left. And then I saw one of the guys who I, at the time, considered a friend, with another one of the girls who, underclassmen. She was a sophomore, I think. We were juniors. Either way, they were in a little group with a couple other people. So I said, hey, I'll go say hi with them. Maybe I can run around with them. So I went up to him. I said, hey, I just saw that Indiana Jones thing. That was pretty cool. You guys want to go see something? And off they walked. They didn't even pay attention to me. They didn't acknowledge me. They didn't want to. Not that they didn't see me. They just didn't want to see me. It was at this point I hit the darkest, most depressed I've ever been in my life. And probably will ever be. Still hurts a little to talk about it. It always will. Because I guess I never thought people could be that cruel, and I still don't think they can. I still try to... I kind of treat it like it was just something in my imagination. A figment of... it wasn't real. It didn't happen. But it did. I can't change the fact that it did. But... what I can change is my outlook on it. You see, I knew they had intentionally not paid attention to me because I was standing in front of them and they were coming towards me. And we were about 3 foot away from each other when I was walking beside them. Or we were 3 foot away from each other when I started talking to them, and then as they kept walking by me, I started walking beside them for a couple seconds to say hey and to have this conversation. And that's how I know they knew I was there. But what solidified it for me was when I talked to my friend. He told me, well, we just had a good group going and we just didn't want you a part of it. I went, oh. Okay.
Let's distribute the weight.
Cool, man. That's completely fine. Yeah, thanks for telling me. So, I ended up kind of depressed for that whole day at the Animal Kingdom. I went and ate lunch and just kind of sat down and did nothing. I didn't do anything. I didn't go on rides. I didn't look around. I just didn't do shit. So, after that, I got a call. We were meeting out front. It was time to go to Epcot. That's what we're going to do for the rest of the day. And how do I put this? I barely remember what happened after that. I remember going to Epcot. And I remember kind of walking around Epcot for a little while. I looked at some of the shops. I hung out with a couple guys, but I can't remember for the life of me who the fuck they were. I went and ate dinner by myself. I know that. went to the Japanese section there, and I wanted to go to the hibachi place, but I couldn't remember where it was, so I just went to this other little quicker place. But I don't, for the life of me, remember what I did, or really who I was with. It just all kind of, it all blanked out. So, I remember going home that day, or back to the motel. And I remember not wanting to remember what was going on, I guess. I remember thinking to myself, I want to jump the fuck off a bridge. I don't want to be here. I don't want to do anything. I just want to go the fuck home. That day will forever be etched into my memory. Not what I did, but the feeling will forever be etched into my memory. And I thank God for that feeling, because I have grown stronger as a person. I've learned to hold dear everything and anyone who's close to me, and to shove out people who don't give a fuck about me. I treat everyone with respect now, and I treat everyone with love and care. Because I don't want anyone to feel the way I felt. That kind of endless darkness that only comes with the feeling of being truly alone. With the knowledge that is being truly alone. This world is a cold and dark place, and I just remember, hating. Just hating. Not one thing, not a person, just hating. I remember this depression lasted all the way through the next day. I basically told one of the freshmen, you're just going to be in a group with me and that's it. And he just kind of went along with it. I guess he was just being nice, and I thank you for being nice to me. We went to the Magic Kingdom. I went on the log ride. I kind of had a little group then. Things slightly seemed up. Until we went to eat dinner that night as we were heading home. We stopped at a restaurant. I don't know what the fuck the restaurant was, but it was a burger place. And it just smacked me in the face that, we were sitting there, someone said something. And I just remember looking at him going, why is it always me? Why am I the one always fucked with? Why am I the one always picked on? I spent 3 fucking days walking around a goddamn amusement park by my fucking self. Why? And my band director at this point kind of stepped in and said, hey, don't be stupid. Now I understand why. I get it. I was making an ass of myself, but I'll always remember the fact that no one thought they ever did anything wrong. This was just normal to them. And that had to be the worst part of it all. That shouldn't be normal. This isn't, mild bullying that helps you grow as a person. This is something that scars you deep. And it helped me grow as a person, but it took a couple years of me growing as a person to fold this in to that, to take it and use it as a learning experience. It wasn't till I was 22 that I realized that I don't need this anger anymore. It took 5 fucking years. 5 years for me to get over this shit. Now that's not just mild bullying, that is a fucking traumatic event at that point. But I got over it. I realized something. You can't change what happens in the past, but you can be a better person for it. And I can't go back and win over everyone in high school or be less weird of a high schooler. But because of who I am and always being myself, I have family who may not be blood related, but will always be family. I have people in my life who care and love me. And I have people who would take a bullet for me just as I'd take a bullet for them. I've learned to value myself more than I value the admiration of others. And that's something that a lot of people don't learn until it's too late. So at the end of the day, I use this experience as a learning experience to grow as a person and to be a better person. And I think that's what everyone needs to do. Everyone needs to go out there and realize that this anger and this pain that you might be holding on to because of something that happened in the past is not worth holding on to. It's not worth bottling up inside. It's not worth shutting yourself down from society like I did. I spent 3 years with no job, no prospects for the future, and I locked myself away in my house. I made my mother work on her own and support all the bills, buy all the food, and I shut down as a person. Because deep down I held on to an anger, a hatred, and a pain that eats away at you. That makes you a hollow husk of who you really are. So if you're holding on to stuff like that, if you're in pain, if you are holding on to hatred, if you've looked into the abyss and felt it bite you, know that these scars, these wounds turn into scars. These scars show that you've lived, that you've felt some pain, but you've made it through it. And that these scars make you a better and stronger person. Don't ever give up. Never surrender. I love you all. And thanks for watching.